Hi, hello
Hello,
everyone.
everyone. I'm Mathilde. I've been working at Odoo for 4 years now in the recruitment team.
And I'm Selene, doing the employee branding at Odoo for 2 years and a half. If you guys don't know what it is, you can come and see me after.
And today we're going to talk about how to retain top talents and the importance of retention. So first of all, we will do a little introduction, then we'll explain what is talent retention. We'll give you all our practices at Odoo, or almost all, and then some examples, and then a conclusion, of course. So, as you may know, the job market has changed in the past few years. The main challenge used to be recruitment of new employees. Actually, it's still hard to recruit, but now there is a new challenge, and it is retention. But maybe, Solène, can you explain what is talent retention?
Yeah, I think we should understand it before diving into the topic. So I'm going to start with saying that retention is an ongoing process. It requires a proactive and strategic approach. This
And
is never ending. You'll never be done with it.
and why is it important?
Uh, it increases loyalty and dedication among your employees. So it's basically the key.
Okay, maybe we can give some figures to be a bit more accurate. So,
Yeah, so more than one Belgian out of three is considering changing jobs in the near future. So I'm going to ask you guys to look on your left and then look on your right. Yeah, one of the three of you is actually considering changing jobs.
and if you're between 18 and 29, it's even more. It's 1 out of 2. So maybe it's time to ask yourself some questions.
And Mathilde, as at Odoo, the average age is about 28.
Yeah.
What do we do to tackle this challenge?
Yeah, I will explain. So today we will explain 6 topics. First, we'll go into the professional development. Then we will talk about challenging and stimulating work. Then we will give a look to supportive management and employee engagement. We'll of course talk about the competitive benefits, and then we will talk about feedback and performance reviews. So first, let's have a look into the professional development side. Solène, everyone is different. I have ambition, you have some, and I think maybe it's not the same. So each employee builds their own career path according to their ambitions. And in a company, it's important to know your employees and to know what they want to do. And to do so, it's important to give them responsibilities and autonomy. It's also important to promote internal mobility. Maybe I can give you an example, but in our team, in recruitment, we have someone, Laura. Hello, Laura. She was in sales before, and then she applied to the campus coordinator position. And she told us that actually it was like her dream job, and that she was looking for something like that in maybe another company. And so she spotted the opportunity at Odoo, and she did the switch. And now she's like happier than ever. And so it's a great example of great switch internal mobility. And we also focus a lot on learning and development. We have a team at Odoo. They're like quite new. It's a new team, but they're working very hard to create a learning and development department. And thanks to that, we can say that 1 year at Odoo is approximately equal to 5 years in a corporate.
Yeah, and as you can imagine, if 1 year equals 5, it means it's going to be a challenging and stimulating work. Did you know that boredom and routine can lead to disengagement and turnover?
Have you ever been bored in a job, Salene?
Yeah, actually, in one of my first jobs, I was so much getting bored, and what happened? I quit and I changed jobs.
And what can we do so you stay with us at Odoo?
I think what I wish that my previous employer would have done, and that I think that we are doing at Odoo, is to assign the people, your top talents, your employees, with projects that are intellectually stimulating and are challenging. And for that, we have the chance to have a product that is ever evolving. It goes from Odoo 16 to 17, next year 18. So people are constantly stimulated at Odoo. They're learning every day, and it's how we do it with the products at least. But it's not only about a product, obviously, and to support those employees into growing, learning, you need a supportive management. How many of you in the room have quit a job because of poor management? I'm guessing a lot, yes. So at Odoo, as Mathilde said, not everyone has the same ambitions, not everyone has the same career path. So we don't have a predefined path to become managers. But what we do is we try to prioritize internal promotion, internal evolution, because someone who has worked at Odoo for like 4 years, 2 years and a half or more, we do have some Odoonosaur, will be more able to, like pass through the Odoo culture, the way we work, and help the team grow. Because as a good manager, as a good team leader, you work for the team. It's not about bossing around the people. It's about showing them the way, giving them the why, and then they'll figure out the how with the responsibilities, autonomy, everything. So it's about trust, like a football coach. You give the theory before the match, the why, but then on the field, it's the people that do the action that do the how.
Now let's have a look into the employee engagement. So one thing that you should not forget is the dream rule. First, you have the direction. You have to give your employees direction, the why, as Solène just said, and then they can be creative and do the how they prefer, actually. Then it's the recognition. The recognition is super important. Like everyone in the room loves to feel valued and important. It's like human. Then there is also the evolve part. You have to make people grow and evolve. Growing is not always like climbing the ladder and getting promotion. It's also getting opportunities to grow and to learn new things. Then there is the autonomy. So you have to give people responsibilities and not tasks, and give them room to take initiatives. And icing on top of the cake, if you can make it fun, then it's perfect. But Solène, do you wake up in the morning just because your job is fun?
Not only, obviously, it's not a secret. I wake up for the money. Salary is like one of the top reasons why people would choose a job over another. It stays important. That's a fact. Most companies, they will give you one unique package per employee. You will get your salary, then benefits, healthcare, retirement plans, and so on. At Odoo, you can actually choose. You can build your own salary, and I think it's really great because as everyone has their own like career path, everyone has different ambitions. Also, everyone has a different situation at home. So, for example, if you've been working at Odoo for 2 years and then now you become a mom and you need a bigger car, well, you can change it. And also you can adapt to everyone's need. I like big cars.
I don't.
So I took an Audi, but Mathilde, she doesn't care about cars. So she got a Dacia, and that's just fine. Everyone spend the money on what they want. And then on top of that, it's important that you bring your employees benefits, like sports, Odoo restaurant, team building. We have a do experience. I mean, I think it's really important. I don't know.
Indeed. Solène, can I give you maybe a small feedback?
Uh, yes, okay.
You're doing very great, very great.
Okay.
And it seems like you're passionate about what you're saying, but just room for improvement, you can keep it a bit straight.
Yeah. I'm always over-explaining, over-sharing.
Yeah, but we love
Sorry
you
for
like
that.
So feedback and performance reviews are super important, but you have to provide constructive feedback. Don't be rude, of course. And you can conduct also regular performance reviews. At Odoo, what do? We have the appraisal app that is super nice. I think we had a lot of talks yesterday about that. And we try to keep the communication as open as possible and to be really transparent. In the HR department, we do some follow-up with the employees after 3, 6, and 18 months. And during those follow-up, we try to spot the talents, to spot the engagement level, and to see what we can do in HR to promote and to make people evolve. So yeah, also something that is really important is that it's okay to disagree, and sometimes from disagreement come the craziest ideas. So yeah, encourage initiatives, take the feedback, and then it will become better.
Yeah. So let's wrap things up a bit. So the Odoo culture, what does it entail? As we said, quick evolution, 1 year equals 5. Huge autonomy, as Mathilde said. It leaves room for creativity, initiatives, and people will amaze you. Added value, it's important that your work has a direct impact on the company you're working for, so that you feel important. And true responsibilities, I think if you trust people, you give them responsibility, well, they'll make the most of it.
Yeah, sure. It's really important to create a positive loop. For example, at Odoo, we try to play with the different layers of intrinsic and extrinsic values. First, Odoo gives to us with autonomy, responsibilities. Yeah, you're directly responsible for projects, etc. when you arrive. And so, as an employee, you give it back. You commit, you engage, you spend time on your projects, and so. Thanks to that, Odoo will give to you like sport, lunch break. You have the team building activities, etc. But first, you have to focus on the first layer, which is autonomy, responsibilities, and intrinsic values.
So, in conclusion, let's say that if your company is looking to grow in terms of markets or workforce, retention is key. And as I said before, it's a never-ending process. So you will never stop learning, challenging yourself, like any employee. But also, it needs to be tailored to each employee. They have different ambitions, different needs. So you need to adapt your strategy to each of them. And yeah, again, never-ending process. Challenge yourself always.
Yeah. So now it's time for the Q&A. Do not hesitate to ask us all the questions. And if you have some about recruitment as well, we have a stand. So do not hesitate to come to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both very much. There are questions coming in already. Big topic at first, salaries. How do you plan to manage the changing fiscal rules for BE payroll, mostly the intellectual property?
Maybe you can come to see the payroll team after, because we're from recruitment, and maybe it will be more precise if you go to them.
There you go. I think you concluded with it that it needs to be tailored, but are there still common challenges across all departments at Odoo? Or do each departments have their own challenges that you see? And if so, which ones?
I think our departments is really like personal, like not all departments have the same problems, of course, but I think it's more like person related. You have to focus on the individual and not only on the departments. Like it's need to be tailored, but like the maximum.
Yeah, like Lala, she was Laura. Sorry, this is our colleague, but her cardiagram is Lala. She was in sales, but not everyone in her team had the same need of, like changing jobs internally. So you need to tailor it to.
And of course, it takes time, but then they get more efficient, etc. So it's worth the investment.
All right. Kind of missed opportunities there, but is it true still? Is it true still? Sorry, that people come back to Odoo after resignation? And would you have numbers
a
about
lot.
it?
Actually, we don't really have numbers, but we have a lot of people coming back. Actually, yesterday I saw someone in the evening, and he just received an offer to come back to Odoo, and we're so proud of that because people, we have a lot of people who are in their first job, so they come at Odoo, they see what we do, etc., and they love the atmosphere, but then they want to see something else, so they leave Odoo. And then they realize that they were feeling very, very well at Odoo, and so they come back. And so actually, I think it's kind of a proof that we have a healthy environment at Odoo and that everything is like super, nice.
All right. When people leave Odoo, what would they usually state as the reason for quitting?
I think it's quite various. As you know, like it depends on the person. Of course, we are a young company, so there are many changes in a person's situation, and we have people who leave to go and make goat cheese in France. Why not?
We also have some people who became partners. We have people who opened their own company with Odoo. Like the Odoo ecosystem is still very present when people leave Odoo. But yeah, other topics like sometimes you do not agree with the management, etc. It also happens at Odoo. We're not perfect,
Of course. Thank you. Um, Someone in the audience believes that diversity is key in retention. Would you agree? And what about
Yeah.
neurodiversity?
Yeah, sure. Actually, diversity is something that we do promote at Odoo. We do not focus on diversity. I mean, it's not something we really want to have, but it's something that is very natural. And when we recruit, we don't want to have like a 50-50 of all genders, etc. We just take everyone based on their skills, and that makes Odoo very diverse in the end, so it works.
Naturally, then. Um, I lost it. But yeah, it was. Yeah, why are there only young people at Odoo? That's interesting too. How come that it attracts
Yeah.
maybe younger people?
Yeah, indeed. And I think it's also part of the attractiveness of
Yeah.
Odoo.
I think it's the group effect, like young people attract young people. We also have like 40% of newcomers that come from referral. They had talk about the referral apps. And, like it's people that our employees directly know, so from the same age, I would say.
Yeah, but the age is definitely not a requirement.
No,
I
it's
mean,
not.
Of
you
course
don't have
not.
to be between 18 and 29 to
Good
join.
point. All right. Do you use gamification in motivation?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. We
Yeah.
do. Mathilde, she actually with Barbara, she and Charlene, who's not here today, she organized a run and bike. There was two runs, one in Easter, one in winter, and there was also a prize at the end during the Easter run. We had to like find eggs while running, and I think it makes it fun.
We try.
We try.
Do you have an idea of what the turnover rate is at Odoo? Speaking about retention.
Last time I did the figures like a few months ago, it was around 20%, so it's quite high. But a lot of people now are like, as we said, the job market has changed, and so people stay a bit less in the company. But at Odoo they come back. So
Yeah, they will come back.
Thank you. We mentioned cars and money, but what is the thing you like the most about your job? there's something
I
else.
will answer first.
Yeah.
I think it's. I will say two things. My colleagues, and why my colleagues? Because we always encourage. We always encourage each other to go the extra mile. I know I wasn't supposed to say that sentence, but that's what we do. We're very supportive among the group, and I think it's amazing.
Yeah, on my side, I would say that it's very different from one day to the other. When I joined Odoo 4 years ago, we were like 300. Now it's super big, and I love change. Yeah, I love change. I love doing different things every day, and so at Odoo, I'm super, super happy.
Great. Is the engagement rate enough for Odoo, or would you like it to be higher?
Higher.
Of course, higher is better, but I mean, it's a work of every day. We need to focus on that and to work on that every day. Of course, we cannot have the perfect engagement rate, but when we see an event like Odoo Experience, we can feel the atmosphere is super, yeah, it's super special, and I think it's part of the engagement, and yeah,
And
it
commitment.
creates.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thinking about, I think it was 40 colleagues that started on Monday.
Yeah.
How do you actually introduce new members of the team to the company in terms of the onboarding process?
Well, there is the onboarding process part, obviously. Then when they get into the team, they have a coach. We have a newsletter introducing them to everyone.
Yeah. So they have to write a small presentation of themselves, and then we send it to the whole Belgium. But also, it's the role of the team leader to introduce newcomers to other members, and so that's something we always tell to people, to team leaders. It's your responsibility to make the people feel involved and part of the team. So yeah, it's also an everyday job to make commitment, belonging, and yeah.
Okay. Um, I haven't seen those T-shirts going around, but here someone says, I guess Fabien says, "Keep the best, don't care about the." Yep. So Fabien says, "Keep the best, don't care about the rest." It even is written on some of people's shirts. Are you firing a lot of people? Is one of the questions.
I don't no, not really. From the payroll team is saying no. Yeah, actually we don't. Yeah, no. I think before firing someone, we have a lot of like things that we do to prevent that actually, and so there is always room to improve, of course. So firing is not part of our daily job,
Of course.
and. Heureusement.
Yeah.
So yeah, no.
All right. How hard is it for you to provide feedback to candidates
Um,
or from managers, if that's the
yeah,
feedback you get yourself?
from candidates, it's part of my job. So yeah, it's something I do on a very regular basis, and I think feedback when it's done the good way, it's always useful because you can improve and get better. So I think yeah, it's always nice. For example, when you have a phone interview and then you have a feedback after that, it's super nice because the next time, if you want to do it better, you can, and you know on what to improve.
All right. Some more context about the keep the best and care about the rest will refer to other ERPs. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
explains it a little better. Not specifically about retention, but still a lot of some questions, or at least common questions about remote jobs. Is it an offer from Odoo and
Yeah, we have
HR?
some remote jobs for developers. So you have to be between like in the time zone +2 or -2 compared to Belgium, and you as a developer you will work in the services department. So yeah, we do have a remote job, and it's this opportunity.
Okay. Maybe one last question. How do you keep the employees' mental health?
Huh.
With all of the perks?
Yeah, actually, that's
Seemed
the
pretty good start.
presentation. So yeah, it's and I think being there to listen and to be proactive when asking questions and really caring about them is yeah, it's part of the HR job. But we also have like an external service who take care of this. So yeah.
Yeah, and also the fact that we have a gym, that there are, you know, sports events, sports session,
Healthy food.
yeah, healthy food. It helps. It helps.
I was thinking here, have people already retired from Odoo? But I was thinking, you know, like after passing the retirement age, maybe. I'm not sure it happened.
I'm not
Did
sure.
it? Not
No,
yet.
we never had someone who retired.
No.
All right. That is about. Oop, no, that was one maybe. Can you tell more about this external service that you
The
Mentioned.
external service that
Ah,
that you mentioned.
that you just mentioned?
That
Yes.
I think in Belgium it's compulsory to have an external service for psychologist reason. Like you have an external service that you can talk to in case you are not aligned with your company, etc. So if it's an Odoo employee asking this question, everything is in the HR FAQ.
All right, that's about it. I think we covered most of the questions, if not all. So thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
T'as vu?